There's an interesting heavyweight fight coming up on July 16th on the undercard of Deontay Wilder versus Chris Arreola. And it is between Amir Mansour, who most of you will know, and a Colombian heavyweight who's now based in Canada called Oscar Rivas, who is currently 19-0 with 14 KOs. Now, I have seen a few of Rivas's fights, and I don't know what to make of him yet. He's a short heavyweight. He's around the same type of height as Mansour, around 6 foot, maybe 6'1". And he's of similar type of stature, type of dimensions. He's a very heavily muscled guy, weighs about 235, 240, around there, maybe a bit heavier for some fights. Some people could say muscle bound. He's got power there, decent-ish speed. But from what I've seen of him, there's not really much head movement. And that's going to be a problem going forward when you're that short in the heavyweight division, particularly in this day and age, when we've got 6'7", 6'8", 6'9" in the case of Tyson Fury heavyweights out there who can move and can box long. So if you're a 6 foot guy and you weigh as much as Rivas does, which is obviously going to cut down your mobility when you're only 6 feet tall, but you're 240 pounds, then I think that's a problem. You're going to need some head movement, okay? So I haven't seen much of that from him. And this really is going to be his first test. There's nobody on his record that most of you will recognize if you look at his box rec. There are some of his fights, quite a few of his fights actually, available to watch on YouTube. I've seen a few of them. Like I say, he has power, has some speed there, hand speed at least. But I don't know. We're going to see how he does against Amir Mansour. Mansour's obviously coming off that loss against Dominic Breazeale. And in that fight, he suffered an injury in his mouth and he was swallowing a lot of blood. There was talk about him possibly having a broken jaw, but I've also heard reports to the contrary, that he didn't actually have a broken jaw, that it was a badly lacerated tongue that was the problem Amir Mansour had, and he was swallowing all types of blood and he just couldn't fight on. He couldn't breathe because he still had Dominic Breazeale hitting him in the face and whatnot. So I don't want to say maybe it was a freak injury, but whatever the case, Mansour was ahead in that Breazeale fight. And don't get it twisted. Credit to Breazeale. He managed to land a punch that, I guess, damaged Amir Mansour's tongue and managed to win the fight fair and square. So you can't say nothing about Breazeale winning that fight. He didn't cheat or anything like that. He got up off the floor, showed heart, and managed to beat Amir Mansour. But many people are going to look at it as a fight where a freak injury occurred. Okay, there was no foul play, but a freak injury occurred. And had it not occurred, Mansour would have gone on to beat Dominic Breazeale. That's the opinion of many. I'm not saying that's my opinion. I'm just saying that's the opinion of many. Okay, I'm not saying it isn't my opinion either. So please don't try to throw stuff at me hoping it sticks. Anyway, we know that Mansour has been in there with much higher quality opposition than Rivas has. He's obviously fought people like Steve Cunningham. Last fight against Dominic Breazeale. He fought Gerald Washington as well recently. So he's been in there with better guys. We know he brings the pain. We know he brings the power. We know he always fights at 100%. And maybe he'll have a bit of a chip on his shoulder going into this fight because some people accused him of quitting. And he did retire on his stool. Let's not get it twisted. Apparently his corner wasn't very happy when he quit on his stool against Dominic Breazeale. So maybe he's going to say, you know what, I need to prove myself again, which is kind of incredible, really, for a guy as tough as Amir Mansour, who's been, who's had such a difficult, hard life, for him to have to come out and prove himself. But I guess he's that kind of guy. Mansour is that kind of guy. He is an old school macho tough guy, so he'll want to try and regain his honor. In the back of his mind, he'll be thinking, there's no way, I'm not a quitter. I want to regain my honor in this Rivas fight. Will he be able to do that? We're going to find out a lot about Rivas. We know who Amir Mansour is. We know what he's about. We know what he can do. We know what his strengths and limitations are. We don't know the same about Rivas. So I'm going to be very interested in watching this fight. This fight might actually end up being the fight of the night. I know a lot of people are expecting a lot from Deontay Wilder versus Chris Arreola, even though many people, or most people, probably agree that Arreola don't deserve this shot against Deontay Wilder. But given the style matchup, the fact that Arreola's aggressive, comes forward and fights with his face, And Deontay Wilder is happy to accommodate that type of style. Many people are expecting fireworks in the main event, but don't sleep on this chief support. I believe this fight is going to be chief support on BoxRec at the moment. It's the only other fight listed on that particular card. So it may be chief support. Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to it. It could be a barn burner as long as it lasts. These are two guys who are almost a mirror image of each other in terms of physique. Both very aggressive, both big punchers, both built like absolute tanks. So definitely looking forward to this one. Drop your comments in the comment section below. How do you feel about this fight? Who do you think is going to win this fight? Who's your money on? And by what method? You think this is going to end by knockout either way? Or will it go the distance? Will somebody prove that their boxing skills are actually better than most people gave them credit for? Drop it all in the comment section below. It's your boy Hatman. I'm out.